so excited about today because this is a question that I've not only seen in the live chat, but in your comments below the video. And I've also received a lot of DMs about this. So I'm excited to tackle this conversation with you guys. A lot of it is revolving around change. So when you start changing, you might receive some feedback, as people call it. I feel like spouses and parents like to use that term. I just want to give you feedback, sweetheart. And it's not really feedback, it is criticism. So how do you deal with feedback, fear, judgment, opinions of other people? And this can come in the form of love from relatives, from parents, from a spouse, from family. It can come in any direction, and it can also come from the general public. If you're someone that is on social media, that can happen, that maybe friends are seeing it or that your following sees it, and you want to know how to tackle that. It's a question that I get a lot, especially for those of you that are trying to build a business on social media. How do you handle the mean comments that come in every once in a while? And I totally deal with them. Do I, let them become the biggest thing of life? No, because frankly, they don't matter. So I'm going to go through a couple of tips with you guys and where this is coming from. And if you want a really cool resource, I post a lot of tips. It's kind of like the daily grind. So I have an Instagram page that it's me that posts. It's called Build a Content Machine. And it's all social media tips. And I had done one where you'll see there's like a skeleton in like a basket. And the page is really cute too. Everything is like pastels. So I shared my take and my tips on if you're starting to post content or you're making a shift in your life, how to deal with judgment, negative comments, feedback from different people. So let me go through this post with you, but also kind of elaborate on it so we can have a little bit of a chat. But the page is called Build a Content Machine. It's on Instagram, and I just share a bunch of stuff on there for free. So number one, before we dive into any of this, I want to share something with you that will blow your mind and help you so much. And I cannot take credit for this. This was Andre. So I hope that you guys enjoyed having Andre on. But I wanted to share something that he said to me. So he said, think of your favorite store. Like, it could be like Lululemon or a grocery store or, I don't know, I just keep thinking of clothing stores. So Walmart, whatever. Think of your favorite store. It can be like the cutest little boutique store. Now I want you to think of your favorite author. I mean, Colleen Hoover, but neither here nor there. Favorite author, favorite writer. Now think of a public figure that had a huge impact on your life in a positive way. So for me, I would say like Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Walt freaking Disney. All of those three entities, person/business, has received feedback, judgment, hate, criticism at one point or another, publicly and privately. Think about that for a second. So you're not alone. And think about the fact that you love these three things so much. These three people, these three businesses, you love them. You would never provide, you're obsessed. You think it's like the greatest thing. There will always be someone with an opinion. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a bunch of people out there that love you. So think, when you focus on that first, it's really easy to focus on the one negative comment and miss out on the 100 or 99 other amazing ones, and you just focus on the one negative one. It's human nature, but if you can redirect that to the people that do love you and that do support and the likes that you are getting, whether it's on social media or in real life, when you redirect it, it can help a lot. So here are my three tips. Number one, your focus. So I just said it, but what you focus on expands. So when you're focused on the negative comments, you tend to almost censor yourself and you're not your authentic self, which therefore leads you down just a messy path. When you're your most authentic self, the people that love you for you, it's just so much easier to continue to grow a business, to continue to grow on social media, because you don't have to constantly analyze and assess who you're actually being. You guys know this with me. I'm just my authentic self. There's nothing I can do. I am an open book and I share the things. And if someone doesn't like it, then it's almost better. So one thing that I do, and I actually shared this in my morning routine, I do this thing, and you can go Google it if you want to. I can give you the Coles notes as well. So if you search on YouTube for Priming by Tony Robbins, I prefer the longer one. There's one that's 15 minutes and there's one that's 20. I think the 20-minute one is better. He just was more on his A game during that. So here's what I do, and that's my morning meditation, but I can give you the quick version because this is also what I go through in like a 5-minute meditation. So you don't need to take 20 minutes, but 3 things that you're really excited about. So you do this in your daily grind planner, but 3 things that you're really excited about. 3 people that you know that you've impacted in a positive way, and 3 qualities that you really love about yourself. If you can do that during your morning meditation, and Tony does this in some kind of way, but if you could focus on that, I think that you'll have a way stronger day of putting out the energy that you want and not focusing on like the one negative thing that was said to you. When you start your day with 3 things that you're excited about in your life, 3 things that, you know, you really, really love about yourself, and 3 people that you know that you've impacted in a positive way, whether it's your kids, your spouse, it can be your dog. It can be like, I know that Carl had a great day today because I gave him a puppuccino. So if I'm really reaching, Carl's going to make that list. But as your following grows, you can think about those individual people and the messages that you're receiving, and that will light you up, and that's what you should be focused on. Second, and this is super important, empathy. If someone is taking the time out of their day to comment or criticize, and I don't mean this in like a poor them, like in a facetious way. I really don't mean it that way. Think about how lonely, sad, and lost that person is to have done that. Have some empathy instead of anger, and it can help a lot. And usually, more often than not, sometimes I'll actually respond, unless I have a rule. If the person is purposely hurtful towards me, or especially anybody that is subscribed or following me, done. Like, you don't deserve to consume my content. And that's kind of my rule of thumb. I'll block and delete you super fast. It takes me 2 seconds. I don't even have to read the whole comment. But if the person is just in a grumpy mood and I can tell, I'll actually reply and just try and give some clarity on it. And usually I'll get a reply like, I'm so sorry, Angie. Like, I was just having a really bad day. Sometimes I'll actually reach out and DM them. And it totally works. So that's something that I do. I really try and have empathy for where they're at. And number 3, Flipside. So I did this on the Daily Grind the other day, and we talked about the fear of judgment and the fear of success and the fear of whatever else we could have in our life. And if we keep allowing that to control our future, use that same exercise every single time that you allow someone's negative thoughts to control you. If you kept going with the feedback that you're receiving from your mother-in-law or your dad or your cousin or your great Aunt Mary, who just has all the opinions in the world, or some stranger named Sally in Albuquerque, New Mexico, if you're allowing that person to control your state, what you're putting out on the internet, what your business looks like, the way that you're speaking, how healthy you want to live your life, if you're doing nothing wrong and you know that in your heart of hearts, then why are you allowing that to control your future? And if you go down that spiral, like I shared, of what does that look like a year from now? If you let Aunt Sally from Albuquerque, New Mexico control your future, what does your future look like if you keep censoring yourself and monitoring what you're saying and not being your true authentic self? What does that look like? So think about the flip side. What does life look like if you let other people control and monitor the way that you're speaking, doing, acting, going after your ish that really matters to you? Flip, how does it look if you are your authentic self that doesn't give a about what people think? It's a lot brighter. And I'm telling you, it gets a lot easier because it kind of becomes white noise. And here's one last thing that I'll leave you. It's a little bit saucy, but I like it. So anytime, and it very rarely happens, but it does happen, that someone will leave just a ridiculous comment. It probably took that person, and bonus points to them, not really, but you know what I mean, if they had to make like a fake account, because usually these people never have a profile picture. So they had to sign up, make a Gmail account, create the profile, then go onto their computer and type the whole thing that they want to type. That takes like a while, like at least 10, 15 minutes at least to do that. You know how long it takes me to do delete block and I didn't even read the whole thing? Like nothing. Like it's a morsel, like a speck, like a breadcrumb in my day. Let it be a breadcrumb in your day, and it will eventually become a breadcrumb in your day that it doesn't even matter. So it's easy to not allow certain people to consume your content if it's really that bad. It's a very simple thing, and YouTube helps you out with that, and so does Instagram. Instagram is actually even better because you can block, delete any accounts that person would make. Super easy. Now, does this happen a lot? No. So I'm here to tell you that just live your life, and if the odd person does come along, it's a really simple fix. So I love you. I think you're freaking phenomenal. You're not hurting anybody. And if you're doing something to grow and improve your life, then have at it and keep freaking going. And if you need a little family of a space to hang out with, we got you. Okay. This was a good talk. So if you guys want more tips like that Build a Content Machine page on Instagram is totally free. I post on there. I try to post on there about every Monday with 3 tips on a certain subject. And if there's something that you want me to cover, go comment on that page and I will do that. But it's just a cool little spot with a bunch of free tips. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, dudes.